gonna be fun. I drew the short straw, so I had to go first. All right, I want to take it back. This was me a little over a year ago. I was post-divorce single, no kids, in shape, educated, ambitious, all these things. I swear this is not just a copy of my dating profile. This was me. Okay? I had all of this freedom, arguably this freedom, earned an emotionally hard way, but I got it, and I'll spare you all that story. But I was wondering what the hell I should be doing with my life. What am I doing? Okay? I was like the kid in the candy store dilemma. I wasn't sure where to go. I wanted to make sure I was using my time the right way. I'm sure some of you guys have felt that before. Using my time right, doing what I've got to do right, okay? We've got one life to live, so I was trying to figure it out. And I was showered with opportunities, okay? All these calls for adventure. I had worked with Startup Sioux Falls, doing things with co-starters, Draco and their Catalyst. I had done some work with them. I'd worked for Stanford. I did stuff with Disrupt HR, Junior Achievement, adjuncting with USD and with Southeast Tech, doing stuff with Lost and Found, doing stuff with leaders of tomorrow, all of these calls of adventure. But I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was doing my best to practice mindfulness, to work on this, understand myself, find the through lines of science, psychology, some of these things I like to do. But there was still that little buzzy bee over my head that was, well, you gotta do your time right. You can't mess this up. You know? You've gotta figure it out. Figure out the right thing. And that was supposed to be air quotes, but, you know. And then it happened. It was late night, October 14th, so just barely over a year ago. Arguably it was the 15th, but late at night. I would like you guys to participate here. You got two hands, okay? Either cover your eyes or let's hear a round of applause because I'm gonna show this video of what happened if you're ready for it. What do you think? This is the first time me showing it to a bunch of people, so here we go. This was recorded on someone's Ring camera. I didn't have any video of it. I found out about it later. I have no conscious memory of this happening. It's like that slap in the face you don't remember. So I didn't really know why or how it happened. I don't know what I did wrong. I had no definite explanation or reason. It ended up breaking my spine in two places. Before that, I had never been in a major motorcycle accident before. Never even tipped a bike, well, I'll tip bikes over, but never crashed one. I'd been riding motorcycles 20 years. I taught motorcycle safety, for Christ's sake. You'd think I knew what I was doing, but I broke my back two places, C7, T10. T10, can't feel or really move much beyond about mid-chest. C7 gave me the one hand, one arm kind of situation, making me technically a quadriplegic or tetraplegic if you want to use the big words. I can't really explain much beyond that. That feeling of these instinctual movements of coughing, sitting up straight, moving your legs, they're just gone. And all of these instinctual movements you don't even think about. You have to relearn a hard way. It's like you're an infant and a toddler again, and then a child with an adult mind. So new world, ready or not, here I am. I wish I could tell you guys a grand story of waking up and having friends and family surrounding me. It happened. They were great. They were great support. And I'll get to that in a second. But I didn't remember it that way because I didn't remember a lot of what was going on. It was like flash bulbs. And those of you that have remember your first few days on the party scene, maybe freshman year of college, you get those flashbulb moments of, I swear this happened, but it didn't really happen. Or you have friends the next morning telling you what happened, and you're like, I don't think that actually happened. That's what my memories were for about a month. They still are that way, let's be honest. I still can't remember. So my first memories of the ICU in Sanford did happen, but I didn't piece it together until a month later. Evenings there, spending more time in my mind. My brain was starting to come back, arguably a little bit blurry, but I was away from home. I was in Lincoln, in Madonna down there. I remembered that it was family and friends and a community of people. And that little buzzy bee in my mind came around again and said, people, like, why? Really? Because again, didn't really remember it. But it made me think of, maybe I wasn't really wasting my time in the 17 jobs, jack of all trades personality that I have. I was doing something, and I was building something. I was helping in some way. The power of that community, the power of that brought me to tears. And I am not a crier. I'm definitely, yep, it happened, it's fine, kind of guy. But family and friends in a community helped. It was heart-wrenching, and I felt it. It was amazing what it could do. And it made me realize and think of and accept that I wasn't alone on this journey. I had allies, and that's helpful. So what's next? Next came my PT, OT, physical therapy, occupational therapy time. Spent a lot of that time up here at QLI. It's actually in Omaha. If you guys have never heard of QLI, they're a great place. Great workplace culture, and if I could spend the next 15 minutes talking about them, I probably would. I spent time working on myself, trying to rebuild things. When I was in the ICU, I could barely lift or twist this left arm. I didn't want to accept that because I'm stubborn, obviously, so moves pretty good now, okay? To add salt to the wounds, to the, obvious physical wounds, I have neuropathy, which is nerve pain. Basically, it's like the feeling of having sunburn, which doesn't make sense because I feel the sunburn on places that I can't feel, like my legs. I feel sunburn on them. It doesn't make sense why I feel sunburn there. Okay, but I spent 4 to 5 hours a day for about 8 months in therapy, learning to sit up, do stretches, clothe myself, obvious, ridiculously fun photos. Then I moved to QLI. I was doing the weightlifting, hand cycling, getting the cardio in, and Vani will appreciate a little bit of boxing. You're welcome, Vani. I got my win. I got my win of going from a power chair as a quadriplegic, tetraplegic, into a manual because I built some strength back in that left arm. But of course, it was more than the physical fight. It was more than the physical building. It was mental. And I had more choices to juggle now, again. 7 different exercises to help my core. 12 different arm exercises. 10 different nerve pain meds I had to manage. Stuff for my bowels. That's a thing you didn't really have to think of till now. slide boards I had to find, a wound vac that I had, pressure wounds to think about. That's a thing too. And getting my protein in. Of course, there were dark days, and people fighting in their mind can respect those dark days because the enemy in the mind is powerful. It knew when to take hopelessness and mix it with stacking priorities, different wants, different goals, the 17 other things that I had to try and remember. So I wanted to do it efficiently, effectively. I was the kid in the candy store again. Choices, choices, decisions, decisions. Don't waste my time again. Do the right things again. Being impatient with myself still. The mind is powerful against you, but can also be powerful with you. Which brings me to Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, Bethany. Okay? You can take a lot of things away from a person, almost everything from them. You still leave them with the one choice. And it's that ability to choose how they feel in these moments, even these low moments, dark moments, sad moments. I chose curiosity. No matter how dark the day was, or is gonna be, you think, there's always the mystery of what's actually gonna happen. There's a mystery of tomorrow. You just don't know. So be curious. I'm curious about it. I was curious about it. Why not try the tricks and tips that I'd learned? Why not try the various bumps and boosts or try this, try that? So let's see it. Let's see if it could be fun. I like to make things into a puzzle because I love puzzles. They give me energy, they give me passion. I like to try and solve them. Hell, I'm the puzzle now. Woohoo. Defining my successes. Again, learning some of these things from LOT, defining those lines. I wanted to get into a manual chair. So much so that I was told, hey, Ty, we're gonna put you in a manual chair for a bit. You're only able to stay there for half a day. I didn't. I went full days when I wasn't supposed to, because I was going for that defined success of the chair. Counting the wins, right? Again, you do anything with Think 3D, you know count the wins. We're gonna talk about wins. What's your wins this week? Knowing those wins, adding them up, drinking water, recording podcasts, taking pills, counting my wins, and remembering again, I wasn't alone. Again, it's still hard for me to believe. They told me backstage that everybody out here is your friend. They've known you before. And I'm like, nah, I mean, are they? You know, like, I know a few people, but I'm not. And I knew when I moved home, I had to address that because I wanted independence. I was stubbornly independent. So I wanted to get back and be independent, right? And I knew I needed someone, though, because I knew I still can't quite do all the things I wanted to do. So I needed somebody to help me drive me around, somebody to reach high things, someone to listen to my rants, deal with my shit, right? That turned out to be Shelby. Thank you, Shelby. She deserves a round of applause. I want to make her feel awkward. It's fun for me. So I'm home now, but the journey isn't over, right? Still more plates spinning. It's on that treadmill, the hedonic treadmill, even if you think about it like that. There's always something else. There's always something more. The treadmill of life. And my mind still fights with me. Still wants me to do the best ways, do things the best. Heck, this speech, I was trying to think about the most effective, efficient, best way to do this, okay? And prioritizing. But again, power comes with power. And I keep being curious of myself. I keep making things puzzles, defining my successes and counting my wins. And I keep remembering that I'm not alone. There's a lot of organizations out here, and it gives me energy, folks helping me navigate these problems, right? It gives me that fire to advocate and give that support. Stuff that Vicky's doing, Kendra's doing, Dylan, Brett, all these folks are doing these things to get involved, to advocate, to figure this puzzle that is being in the handicapped South Dakota world out. And remembering again that we're overcoming things that we used to take for granted, easy things, crossing the street, using an elevator that's broken and doesn't really work right because you got to go up and then it doesn't make sense. Cracked sidewalks, missing grab bars, people parking. If you notice, it's like they park, this is the same spot in all three pictures, and there's somebody different there every time. Makes me laugh. But again, things that still need to be worked on and focused on. Okay? But there's a beauty to all of this. And again, it was the thing that brought me to tears. And it's the power of community. The power to get involved in some way. And I'm a challenger, if you guys know the different, I don't know if it's not Myers-Briggs, but the Enneagram stuff, right? I'm the challenger kind of guy, so I'm going to challenge you all to do your best to get involved in some of this stuff. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, handicap, disability, adaptability stuff. I respect what you want to get involved in. But I challenge you all to get involved. If it's 5 minutes a day or even like half hour once a week, because the power of a community, the power to bring me to tears is there. I encourage you all to tap into that. Because we never really know what tomorrow's going to bring. I didn't go to sleep one night knowing that I was going to crash my motorcycle. Actually, I was pretty confident I wasn't, given my 20 years of experience on one. But here I was. A big power that held me through, though, was remembering to be curious and see what the next day brings. So, be curious and do what you can. Thank you.